They always think they'll win. That's the twisted beauty of a narcissist's delusion. They believe they own you, your mind, your emotions, your reactions, that they can disappear, come back, twist the knife, and you'll still bleed for them. Still care, still chase, still try to make them see your worth. But what happens when the bleeding stops? What happens when the look in your eyes changes from desperate to distant? When the energy they once fed on like a parasite is gone? That's when things get interesting. That's when they panic. That's when the real mask falls off. Because nothing destroys a narcissist more than your indifference. Not your anger, not your heartbreak, not your tears. They love those. Those are proof that they still control the narrative, that you're still emotionally invested. But silence, indifference, peace, that's war. Let's rewind for a second. If you've ever been entangled with a narcissist, you know what it feels like to live in emotional limbo. You're walking on eggshells, yet trying to prove your worth at the same time. You're always wrong, even when you're right. You get blamed, shamed, gaslit, and drained. You become a shadow of yourself, addicted to the high of rare validation and crushed by the weight of constant devaluation. A narcissist doesn't love you. They love what you give them, your attention, your admiration, your pain, your energy. You are a mirror for their fragile ego. You are a character in their carefully constructed story where they are always the victim, the hero, or the god, but never the villain. And here's the trap. You try to fix them. You try to understand them. You try to show them what love is supposed to look like. You give and give and give until you have nothing left. And just when you think they'll notice your loyalty, they discard you like trash, emotionally flat, cold, robotic, and you break. But there comes a moment of pure clarity. A switch flips. You stop giving a damn. Not out of bitterness, but out of exhaustion, out of wisdom. Out of finally understanding that nothing you ever did was going to be enough, because they were never looking for love. They were looking for supply. And now, you're empty. But it's the kind of empty that feels clean, free. They notice. Oh, they notice fast. The narcissist's reaction to your indifference. At first, they won't believe it. They'll assume it's a tactic, that you're playing hard to get, that this is just another scene in their drama, so they'll test you. You'll get a, "Hey, how have you been?" text at 2:03 a.m., a song posted to their story that used to mean something to both of you, a subtle jab, a compliment, a breadcrumb. They're checking your pulse, seeing if the puppet still dances, but this time you don't reply. Or if you do, it's ice cold, dead eyes, no spark. That's when they feel it, the shift. Like a vampire being denied blood, they begin to unravel. Because your indifference isn't just silence, it's power. It tells them the game is over, that they no longer get to rent space in your mind, that the character they once played in your life story is dead. And narcissists, they don't take kindly to death, especially when it's theirs. Phase 1, rage in disguise. The first response is covert rage. It won't always look like yelling or cursing. Sometimes it's more calculated. They'll smear you, tell others that you were the narcissist, that you were emotionally unstable, that they tried their best but you were just too toxic. Why? Because they have to win the narrative. Your indifference makes them irrelevant, and to a narcissist, irrelevance is annihilation. They have to destroy your image so they can preserve their illusion. If that doesn't work, they'll try to hoover you back in. Phase 2, hoovering, the siren song. Suddenly they remember your birthday. Suddenly they miss you. Suddenly they're in therapy. They've changed. It's all bait, because they don't miss you. They miss the control. They miss the chaos. They miss the way your eyes lit up when they gave you breadcrumbs and called it love. They miss their favorite toy. But if you've really detached, if you've truly disconnected, it doesn't work. And now they're terrified, not of losing you, but of losing their ability to affect you. That's the heart of it. Narcissists don't fear losing people. They fear losing control over how people see them and how people make them feel about themselves. Phase 3, collapse and scramble. A narcissist without supply begins to rot. They scramble for new victims, new listeners, new mirrors, but it's never the same. You had history. You knew their weaknesses. You used to react. You used to worship them. You used to care. But now, you've become their greatest fear, the person who saw behind the mask and walked away. Let me give you an example. I once knew someone who dated a narcissist for years. He was loyal to the point of self-destruction. The girl cheated, lied, manipulated, triangulated, everything out of the narcissistic playbook. For years he fought, begged, stayed. Then one day he stopped. He blocked her, changed his number, never looked back. She spiraled. First came the love bombs, then the guilt trips, then the threats. When none of it worked, she started dating his friend just to provoke a reaction. He didn't flinch. Years later, she still stalks his social media from fake accounts, still asks mutual friends about him, still tries to inject herself into his life story. But he's long gone. He became her unfinished sentence, and nothing haunts a narcissist like the silence they can't manipulate. When you finally learn that a person's behavior has more to do with their own internal struggle than it ever did with you, let them go without closure. That quote hits harder when you've danced with a narcissist, because closure was never part of the deal. There is no clean goodbye with someone who never saw you as human to begin with. They don't close doors, they leave them cracked, just wide enough to crawl back in. But when you slam it shut, when you walk away, not to hurt them, but to save yourself, that's the ending they never prepared for. Why your indifference is your superpower. Let's be clear. Indifference doesn't mean you never cared. It means you outgrew the need to be hurt by them. You saw the pattern. You saw the manipulation. You saw that love, real love, isn't supposed to feel like survival. You started building your life in silence. You focused on your peace, your healing, your power. And guess what? That power is intoxicating, but not to the narcissist, to you. You start realizing that your worth isn't up for negotiation anymore. That peace is louder than chaos. That your silence is louder than all the screaming matches in the world. And the narcissist, they become a ghost, one you no longer fear. The final lesson. If you've ever escaped the claws of a narcissist and truly detached, understand this. You've done something most never do. You broke the trauma bond. You shattered the illusion. You reclaimed your narrative. That's rare. That's powerful. And if you're still in it, if you're still doubting, still breaking, still holding on, let this be your sign. Let their reaction to your silence become your motivation, because the moment they realize you don't care anymore is the moment you win. Not out of revenge, not out of ego, but out of freedom. And in that freedom, you don't just survive narcissistic abuse, you obliterate it. You become untouchable. And nothing terrifies a narcissist more than someone who no longer needs their poison to feel alive. Let them choke on the silence. You've got better places to be. You don't heal to teach them a lesson. You heal because you're done letting them teach you pain. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more videos, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.